last video I did, I kept taking a drink of my tea over here, and I find out that I have some sort of problem, so I'm gonna hold this pen for today to try and prevent me from constantly drinking. Seattle. Now, I don't know too much about any sort of anything in NHL. I don't claim to, so this is just my opinion. Probably should clarify that. But I don't foresee in the future that we're gonna get an expansion team that isn't handpicked from the rest of the league. In the past, the way things were done was whenever a team had an expansion or moved, they would redraft or draft and get players in for them. A good example would be the Washington Capitals. When they first came into the league, their season was horrible. They won 8 of their games. Only 8 across the whole season. 2018, they hoisted the Stanley Cup, but that's neither here nor there. Now, the thing is I'm not gonna doubt that this won't turn out alright. And Seattle is paying a huge amount of money to have this. But I'm a fan of a little bit of pain and suffering, because that makes things that you do, wins, playoff runs, it makes it that much sweeter. When the Capitals hoisted the Stanley Cup, it was the first time that they hoisted the Stanley Cup. It was probably their third time that they ever went to the final, or that they, made it far into the playoffs. And 2018 was their first year that they won. You had Caps fans from back then, and you have Cap fans of now, feeling the same euphoric joy as the players felt. And the players, young guys like Madison Bowie, just as excited as players like Alexander Ovechkin. Maybe Ovechkin was a bit more happy, but that's neither here nor there. So, when it comes to that sort of stuff, the joy of winning it, is when you've worked so hard to try and get it, is wonderful. And the problem is Seattle's paying a lot of money to get a team, to draft players, to build a stadium, all that sort of things. And then what's going to happen is that the league is going to go around to each of the 30 teams, not 31, because because Vegas is too new. They can't participate. But I'm sure in the future, if Houston or Quebec, if they get a team, I'm sure Vegas will have to be involved, and the previous expansion will have to participate. So, let's say if it goes in that order, Vegas came first, then it was obviously Seattle, and then say Houston, then Winnipeg, Quebec, then Vegas doesn't have to participate in Seattle's expansion, Seattle won't have to participate in Houston's expansion, and Quebec won't have to participate, and Houston won't have to participate in Quebec's expansion. Now, again, there's no problem with it. They're paying a good amount of money. They don't want to suck. But let's just use this as an example. Seattle becomes a team, and they handpick players from across the NHL. They do the Vegas Magic and go to the Stanley Cup final and play against, Philadelphia. And they beat Philly. How are Seattle fans going to react? They've never been that exposed to the team or the players for more than a season. So, what feeling do they have? They're going to have happiness. But the curse continues. Expansion teams rarely win their first time round. St. Louis did it, and they were beaten by Toronto. So, and Vegas did it, and then they were beaten by the Capitals. Said I wouldn't drink, or I am drinking. When I talk for a while, my throat gets dry. Especially because that's tea. Tea doesn't really stay, but whatever. So, the point is, I'm a fan of a bit of misery. It tests your patience as a hockey fan base. Because if you're able to put up with and stick by the team when they're doing bad, then it shows what true level you have. People in Seattle, let's say their team doesn't do hot. The players that they pick don't gel together. They can't play together very well. They pick players from rivals, and they seem to not let the rivalry go. What do you do then? Because, well, Seattle fans are probably just gonna turn to the Seahawks or something. They're gonna just, all right, well, the Seattle Space Needles, or whatever they're gonna be called, aren't doing too hot. Let's go back to the Seahawks. Not saying that's gonna happen, but it could. Seattle is going to be a weird time for the NHL because we're gonna might have another instance of Vegas. We also might have an instance like we always had with expansion where they haven't been that great their first year. Will we get St. Louis again? Will we get Vegas again? Who knows? Anyways, this was a bit of a different video for me. And like I said, this is my opinion. I don't hold any qualms with Seattle getting a team. I'm just stating that, me personally, I'm a fan of a bit of misery. It leaves a bad taste in the mouth. Trust me. As an Arizona fan, I can tell you, there's a lot of misery. And as a Detroit fan right now, a lot of misery. See, Washington, not so much. But Detroit and Arizona, misery for me. But the difference is, Arizona's never won anything. I'm hoping that they're able to do it somehow. And Detroit has 11 cups. So, take that as you will. Anyways, I'm going to put my pen down. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see what you think. If you're from Seattle, tell me if you're excited for this team. And don't take my word for what the name is going to be. It's probably not going to be the Space Needles. I was kind of going by the Capitals because they're in DC, and DC has the Capitol building, all that sort of stuff. So, take that as you will. I don't know what they're going to be called, but hopefully it's something that isn't terrible. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and just for fun, why not? Tell me what you think the Seattle team is going to be made. I'm really dating this video, aren't I? Look at this mouse. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I don't know if I'm going to do 2 videos again in the future. Probably not. Probably not back to back like this. I might do 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. Maybe 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. We'll have to see. I sleep in, so I don't know if I will be able to wake up in time to make a video, but I might do one at like 2 o'clock Eastern time, and I might do one like, it's 9:31 now, so maybe I'll do it here. I'm not sure. Anyway, this video is going on for way too long. Let me know what you think. Comments down below. If you're new, hit the subscribe button.